Since 2016, we have seen 87 SmackDown Women's title matches on WWE TV. This got us wondering what the greatest SmackDown Women's title match ever is. So in today's video we have decided to rank the top 50 greatest SmackDown Women's title matches ever. In 50th place, we have Liv Morgan defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler at the 2022 Clash of the Castle pay-per-view. The first WWE United Kingdom Stadium pay-per-view in 30 years saw Liv Morgan enter as the SmackDown Women's Champion and Shayna as the challenger. This match saw Shayna dominate Liv Morgan throughout the match until a late comeback saw Liv hit Oblivion to retain her championship. In 49th place, we have Carmella defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Asuka at the 2018 Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It seemed this was going to be the match that saw the end of Carmella's entertaining SmackDown Women's title run. This match was a competitive one, which both competitors looked good in. Asuka was on the verge of defeating Carmella, but a returning James Ellsworth distracted Asuka, allowing Carmella to take advantage and retain her championship. This was Asuka's second ever loss in WWE. In 48th place, we have Carmella defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair at the 2018 Backlash pay-per-view. Carmella's first SmackDown Women's Championship defense was against the women she cashed in Money in the Bank on to win the title, Charlotte Flair. This match saw Carmella doing everything in her power to remain champion, which included trying to walk out. Charlotte came close to winning, but after injuring her leg, Carmella took advantage and got the upset win over Charlotte. In 47th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Naomi on the February 11, 2022 episode of SmackDown. Much to the dismay of Sonya Deville, Adam Pearce granted Naomi a title match against Charlotte. The match was a competitive match which nearly saw Naomi win the championship. Charlotte retained her title after hitting Natural Selection. In 46th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Ruby Riott at the 2018 Fastlane pay-per-view. Ruby Riott ended up dominating the majority of this match against Charlotte. After Becky, Naomi, Liv and Sarah were kicked from ringside, Charlotte gained momentum which led to her retaining her championship. In 45th place, we have Ronda Rousey defending the SmackDown Women's title against Natalya at the 2022 Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Ronda's first pay-per-view SmackDown Women's title defense saw her take on her former partner Natalya. This wasn't a submission match, but the story of the match was both competitors wanted the other to tap out. Eventually Natalya tapped out to Ronda's armbar. This moment was best remembered for what happened after as Liv Morgan cashed in Money in the Bank on Ronda Rousey and won the SmackDown Women's title. In 44th place, we have Alexa Bliss defending the SmackDown Women's title against Naomi at the 2017 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. After finishing her feud with Becky Lynch, SmackDown Women's Champion Alexa Bliss was faced with a new challenger in Naomi. This was a short match which was a competitive one as Naomi had the momentum while Alexa tried underhanded tactics to retain. Naomi was able to defeat Alexa to win her first ever championship in WWE. In 43rd place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Lacey Evans at the 2020 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Lacey entered this event searching to win her first championship after defeating Bayley week previous to earn a title shot. This was a short match which Bayley dominated the majority of. Lacey regained momentum but failed to connect with a moonsault which allowed Bayley to secure the win after grabbing the tights. In 42nd place, we have Naomi defending the SmackDown Women's title against Natalya at the 2017 SummerSlam pay-per-view. Natalya entered this match looking to win her first championship in over 6 years. This was a competitive match as both competitors had impressive spots, but was won by Natalya in the end after she made Naomi tap out to the sharpshooter to win the SmackDown Women's title. In 41st place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's title against Ember Moon at the 2019 SummerSlam pay-per-view. This ended up being a fun match to watch as we saw nice wrestling and some exciting high spots executed by both Bayley and Ember. The match saw Bayley retain the title after hitting the belly to Bayley off the top rope. In 40th place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's title against Naomi at the 2020 Super Showdown event. One of the first ever WWE Women's matches to take place in Saudi Arabia saw Bayley putting her championship on the line against Naomi. This was a competitive match which nearly saw a new champion crowned. After missing a moonsault, Naomi got hit by the Rose Plant, allowing Bayley to retain her title. In 39th place, we have Bianca Belair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Carmella on the July 17, 2021 episode of SmackDown. The show that saw the return of fans to arenas after the COVID-19 pandemic saw Carmella challenge Bianca again for the title. Bianca and Carmella have had many matches against each other, with this being one of their best. The common pattern is Bianca defeats Carmella, and this happened again on this night. In 38th place, we have Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's title against Nia Jax on the March 19, 2021 episode of SmackDown. To secure her place at WrestleMania 37, Sasha had to win this match. After being dominated for most of the match, Sasha managed to find a way to defeat Nia and secure her spot against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 37. In 37th place, we have Alexa Bliss defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Becky Lynch, Natalya, Carmella, Mickie James, and Naomi at WrestleMania 33. The first ever WrestleMania SmackDown Women's Championship match saw Alexa have to defend her championship against every available female SmackDown superstar. This match was a fast-paced match that saw all 6 competitors have their moments to shine. In the end, it was Naomi who shined the brightest after she made Alexa tap out to win the SmackDown Women's title. In 36th place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss at the 2019 Stomping Grounds pay-per-view. A rivalry renewed on the blue brand as Bayley battled Alexa over another championship. This was one of the better Alexa vs. Bayley matches, which saw some nice spots and good wrestling. Unlike 2017, Bayley was able to retain her championship after a Nikki Cross mistake led to Alexa Bliss losing the match. We would quickly like to recommend that you check out some of our recent videos after this video has ended, and please subscribe to the channel for more videos. In 35th place, we have Alexa Bliss defending the SmackDown Women's title against Becky Lynch in a steel cage match on the January 17, 2017 episode of SmackDown. After weeks of running away from Becky Lynch, Alexa was locked in a steel cage with her to defend the title. This was a good match which would have ranked better without the commercial breaks. The end saw a returning Mickie James assist Alexa Bliss in defeating Becky Lynch. In 34th place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's title against Sasha Banks, Naomi, Tamina, and Lacey Evans at WrestleMania 36. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, WWE had to move WrestleMania 36 to the WWE Performance Center with no fans in attendance. This led to creative plans changing and this elimination match being made. This match saw Bayley and Sasha team up to eliminate Tamina, and then Naomi. Lacey Evans eliminated Sasha Banks before Bayley defeated Lacey to retain, which led to more tension between Bayley and Sasha Banks. In 33rd place, we have Natalya defending the SmackDown Women's title against Charlotte Flair at the 2017 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Charlotte Flair had waited 6 months for a championship opportunity since getting drafted to SmackDown, and this ended up being a good match between Natalya and Charlotte, which nearly saw Charlotte win the title. To stop this from happening, Natalya got herself disqualified to keep the title. In 32nd place, we have Bianca Belair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley at the 2021 Backlash pay-per-view. Bianca's first ever championship defense was against Bayley in this match. This was a competitive match that saw Bianca hold her own against Bayley and overcoming every tactic Bayley attempted. Bianca retained the title by using her hair to roll up Bayley. In 31st place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross at the 2019 Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Bayley had the disadvantage in this match as Alexa and Nikki picked a handicap stipulation for this match. This was a good match that saw Alexa and Nikki take advantage of the numbers game. Bayley overcame this disadvantage by pinning Nikki after hitting an elbow drop to retain her title. In 30th place, we have Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss at the 2016 TLC pay-per-view. The first ever time a SmackDown Women's Champion defended their title on pay-per-view saw Becky attempt to retain over Alexa Bliss in a tables match. After a very competitive match which saw both competitors nearly win, Alexa was able to powerbomb Becky through a table to win her first ever Women's Championship and to crown the second ever SmackDown Women's Champion. In 29th place, we have Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss on the November 8, 2016 episode of SmackDown. The second ever SmackDown Women's title match took place in Glasgow, Scotland, as Alexa Bliss was the first person to challenge for the title. A competitive display from Alexa nearly saw her win the championship. Becky Lynch managed to retain the title with an armbar after the ref didn't notice Alexa having hold of the rope. In 28th place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair at the 2019 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Bayley's 4-month SmackDown Women's title reign was under its biggest threat with this challenge from Charlotte Flair. This match saw Bayley dominate the first half until Charlotte made a comeback. Bayley's desperate attempts at retaining failed, and Charlotte made Bayley tap out to the figure 8. In 27th place, we have Natalya defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair on the November 14, 2017 episode of SmackDown. Charlotte was granted a rematch against Natalya after her several attempts to avoid the match. This was one of the better Charlotte vs. Natalya matches, which saw Charlotte try to win the title in her hometown, which she managed to do after making Natalya tap out to win her first ever SmackDown Women's Championship. In 26th place, we have Ronda Rousey defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Raquel Rodriguez on the December 30, 2022 episode of SmackDown. After weeks of trying to get a title match, Raquel secured one against Ronda on the final SmackDown of the year, and she came close to winning the title. Ronda managed to retain the title but was confronted by a returning Charlotte Flair, who managed to defeat Ronda. In 25th place, we have Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Carmella, Natalya, and Nikki Bella competing for the SmackDown Women's title at the 2016 Backlash pay-per-view. This match was booked to crown the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. All 6 competitors looked good in this elimination match, which saw Alexa eliminated first, followed by Naomi, followed by Natalya, then followed by Carmella eliminating Nikki Bella. Becky Lynch then managed to submit Carmella to become the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. In 24th place, we have Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Carmella at the 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Carmella had one last opportunity at Sasha's SmackDown Women's title. This was a competitive match which saw Carmella try to use Reginald to help her defeat Sasha. Carmella dominated most of the match, but despite this, Sasha managed to put Carmella in the bank statement to get the win via submission to retain the title. In 23rd place, we have Charlotte defending the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley on the October 11, 2019 episode of SmackDown. After losing her title 5 days beforehand, Bayley showed up to this match by destroying her old persona and introducing us to the version of Bayley we know today. This was a competitive match which ended with Bayley cheating to beat Charlotte to reclaim the title and start her record-breaking SmackDown Women's Championship reign. In 22nd place, we have Bianca Belair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley at the 2021 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The 4th ever Women's Hell in a Cell match saw Bianca put her title on the line against Bayley. This match saw a good blend of combining wrestling with the weapons at their disposal, such as chairs, stairs, kendo sticks, and eventually the ladder, which Bianca Belair used to hit the KOD on Bayley to win the match. In 21st place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's title against Asuka at the 2020 SummerSlam pay-per-view. The opening match of SummerSlam saw Asuka challenging for her first championship of the night. This was a good wrestling match that saw Bayley try to use Sasha Banks to her advantage. In the end, Bayley was successful in doing this, as a Sasha distraction allowed Bayley to pick up the win. In 20th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Natalya at the 2017 Clash of Champions pay-per-view. This was the most unique Natalya vs. Charlotte match, as WWE made this a lumberjill match with the women's SmackDown roster at ringside. This was a good wrestling match which saw Natalya constantly use the lumberjills to attack Charlotte. It seemed like Natalya was about to reclaim the championship until Charlotte got the figure 8 cooked in suddenly and retained the championship. We would likely to recommend some more of our videos to watch after this video, and please like this video and feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. In 19th place, we have Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's title against Charlotte Flair at the 2018 Super Showdown pay-per-view. The Becky vs. Charlotte rivalry traveled to Australia, as Becky did everything in her power to remain champion. We saw a good match between Charlotte and Becky until a disappointing finish saw Becky get disqualified after several attempts of trying to escape Charlotte. Becky then laid Charlotte out after the match. In 18th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Carmella on the August 28, 2018 episode of SmackDown. After losing her title at SummerSlam, Carmella was granted her rematch against Charlotte on this episode of SmackDown. In this match, Carmella was given the chance to show off her wrestling ability. In the end, Charlotte managed to retain her title, but was attacked afterwards by Becky Lynch. In 17th place, we have Liv Morgan defending the SmackDown Women's title against Ronda Rousey at the 2022 Extreme Rules pay-per-view. The theme of the show was Extreme Rules, and this was the match that was given the Extreme Rules stipulation. Liv Morgan had developed a more extreme gimmick going into this match, which was seen as both competitors used chairs, bats, and tables. The end saw Liv Morgan pass out to Ronda's armbar to put an end to her SmackDown Women's title reign. In 16th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Becky Lynch at the 2018 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Becky Lynch got an opportunity against Charlotte Flair after turning on her at SummerSlam. The heated feud led to a heated match, which gave us a very good wrestling match, which was very competitive. Both competitors looked like they could win, but it was Becky who managed to, after a roll-up, to win her second ever championship in WWE. In 15th place, we have Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's title against Bianca Belair at the 2021 Extreme Rules pay-per-view. This match saw Bianca Belair get a rematch at the SmackDown Women's title after a returning Becky Lynch took the title off her in 26 seconds at SummerSlam. This was a preview of the great Becky vs. Bianca matches that we would come to see in the future, as this was a very good match. This was a competitive match which would have ranked higher if it hadn't ended in no contest due to a returning Sasha Banks attacking both Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. In 14th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 38. Ronda Rousey returned to WWE by winning the 2022 Royal Rumble match. She used this title shot to face Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 38. The two went on to have a competitive match which focused mainly on submission wrestling. Ronda managed to make Charlotte tap, but the ref had been knocked out. After Ronda revived the ref, Charlotte hit the big boot to retain the title. In 13th place, we have Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's title against Carmella at the 2020 TLC pay-per-view. This match ended up surprising people for how good it ended up being, as we got a great wrestling match which saw Carmella try to use Reginald to beat Sasha. This possibly ended up being Carmella's greatest ever performance, as she nearly beat Sasha Banks. It looked like Carmella was on the verge of winning, but Sasha Banks got Carmella in the bank statement and made her tap to retain the SmackDown Women's title. In 12th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title, while challenging for Ronda Rousey Raw Women's title in a match that also featured Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 35. For the first ever time, we saw women main event WrestleMania with this match. This was an insanely heated feud which had the most buzz going into WrestleMania. After a good display of wrestling, submissions, and high spots, it was Becky Lynch who won the match and claimed both the SmackDown and Raw Women's titles to close WrestleMania 35. In 11th place, we have Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley on the 2020 November 6th episode of SmackDown. After defeating Bayley inside Hell in a Cell, Bayley was granted a rematch to end the feud with Sasha Banks on SmackDown. This was a great wrestling match which saw Sasha Banks defeat Bayley and successfully retain a singles championship for the first ever time in her WWE main roster career. In 10th place, we have Carmella defending the SmackDown Women's title against Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch at the 2018 SummerSlam pay-per-view. Carmella had a major disadvantage going into this title defense, as her challengers Charlotte and Becky were best friends going into this match. This was a very good match which saw all three shine with their wrestling and their high spots. It looked like Becky Lynch was about to win the championship until Charlotte hit a natural selection on Becky to end Carmella's title reign. After this match, we saw Becky turn on Charlotte. In 9th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Ronda Rousey at the 2022 Backlash pay-per-view. WWE booked this match as an I Quit match, as this feud was centered around both competitors promising to make the other quit. Charlotte and Ronda fought all across the arena and used the weapons they found along the way. In the end, Ronda Rousey managed to make Charlotte Flair say I quit to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. In 8th place, we have Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair and Asuka at the 2018 TLC pay-per-view. To match the theme of the pay-per-view, WWE booked this match as a tables, ladders, and chairs match as the three main event the show. The three had an excellent match while using all the tables, ladders, and chairs at their disposal. After a very competitive match, Ronda Rousey cost Becky and Charlotte the match, allowing Asuka to climb the ladder and win her first championship on the WWE main roster to close the show. In 7th place, we have Asuka defending the SmackDown Women's title against Becky Lynch at the 2019 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. After losing her title at the TLC pay-per-view, Becky earned a rematch against Asuka as the two opened the 2019 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. This was an excellent wrestling match which saw submissions and great wrestling maneuvers. Becky's night got off to a bad start as she lost to Asuka via submission. Later this night, Becky managed to win the 2019 Royal Rumble match. In 6th place, we have Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's title against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair at the 2021 Crown Jewel pay-per-view. This match saw these three women travel to Saudi Arabia as Sasha Banks got her title rematch from WrestleMania 37, while Bianca Belair got her rematch since Sasha interrupted her previous one. This was a fantastic wrestling match which showed how great these three superstars are. Bianca was on the verge of winning. Sasha attempted to steal the pin but got rolled up by Becky, who held the ropes to retain the championship. Before we reveal the top 5, we would like to recommend that you check out our channel for more videos after this video has ended, and please subscribe to the channel for more videos. In 5th place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Asuka at WrestleMania 34. Asuka won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match in 2018 and chose to face Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 34. This was a great wrestling match which allowed Charlotte and Asuka to showcase their ability of the grandest stage. Potentially the most shocking SmackDown Women's title result ever saw Charlotte Flair retain her title and end Asuka's undefeated streak in WWE. In 4th place, we have Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair at the 2018 Evolution pay-per-view. The first ever all-female WWE pay-per-view saw WWE book Becky Lynch vs. Charlotte Flair in a last woman standing match. Becky and Charlotte ended up stealing the show in this fantastic match as the two had a battle with each, which included chairs, kendo sticks, ladders, and tables as the two battled all over ringside. After doing everything in her power to keep Charlotte down, Becky was eventually able to, after powerbombing Charlotte through a table on the outside of the ring. In 3rd place, we have Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 37. The first ever one-on-one women's WrestleMania main event saw Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks have one of the greatest WrestleMania main events in WWE history. We saw excellent wrestling, high spots, dives, and storytelling. The moment of the match saw Bianca whip Sasha with her hair and hit the KOD to win the SmackDown Women's title in a star-making moment for Bianca Belair. In 2nd place, we have Charlotte Flair defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 39. At the time of posting this video, this is the most recent SmackDown Women's title match. Rhea Ripley entered as the challenger after picking to face Charlotte after winning the 2023 Royal Rumble match. This match ended up being one of the greatest women's matches ever seen, as Rhea Ripley and Charlotte had a physical competitive match which showcased how great both of them are. After trying to defeat Charlotte for years, Rhea Ripley finally got her moment after hitting a riptide from the top rope to finally defeat Charlotte and to win the SmackDown Women's title. In 1st place, we have Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Sasha Banks at the 2020 Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. This heated feud saw WWE book this as the first ever SmackDown Women's title match to take place inside Hell in a Cell. Sasha and Bayley had an iconic match which saw great wrestling, and the two used all the weapons inside the Hell in a Cell to their benefit. The match saw great storytelling as Sasha used the steel chair that Bayley used to turn on Sasha months previous by putting Bayley in the bank statement with the steel chair. Bayley's record-breaking SmackDown Women's title reign came to an end and Sasha Banks won her first ever SmackDown Women's Championship. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. We will be posting a greatest Raw Women's title match video soon. Leave your thoughts in the comments. We thank you for watching.